I feel really good. The movie is the best experience I've ever had shooting a movie. I think it's incredibly personal, and at the same time, it's like sending your kid to school.
Yeah.
You get nervous, send it out into the world, and pray for the best.
Well, it's very fulfilling. Guillermo's been thinking about this film for a long time, and we've been at it for several years now. So just to get to the finish line and be able to share the film with everyone, it's really a great pleasure.
I'm one of the producers of the film along with Miles Dale and Guillermo, and it's been about a 25-year journey for Guillermo and I. It's something we talked about way back at Universal Pictures when we were young, and we've always had this dream. In particular, he's had this dream, and for me it's been kind of a dream come true to watch this thing come to life and this passion that he's had for Frankenstein for so long.
Oh, it's fantastic, it's amazing because we have done a pretty good movie together, and it's so nice to celebrate this. It's just amazing. It's so fantastic.
And I designed the sets, help pick the locations, work very closely with Guillermo. I'm one of the earliest people on, and I'm like the architect, We had over 110, I think, at the end, locations and sets combined. So it was a lot of work. I had a very nice long prep, which I really appreciate, which is mostly due to Guillermo's desire to really embrace the design. He's an artist and a collaborator and an amazing person to work with as a director.
Well, I'm the editor of the film, and I work with Guillermo every day to put the story together and really present his vision to the world.
It's a big epic movie with a big epic score that goes from the very wide, huge orchestra to a solo violin, very delicate and fragile. So it was a daunting task because it's the movie that Guillermo wanted to direct forever. And you have to be right in every possible way.
It was mammoth. It was a huge production, and Guillermo's ideas are big, So it was, look, I tell you what, every project tests you, and this one did, but it was an amazing reward at the same time, and a wonderful team to be collaborating with, and we all work together so well. So bloody exciting and wonderful, really. Yeah.
It was exhausting, and it was wonderful at the same time to be able to create.
Rewarding.
Being able to create the most famous literary monster of all time was very, very honored to do, and we're very, very flattered.
Well, I think that it's never been more intimate and more epic at the same time. It has elements of fairy tale, fable, and basically for me it's a Catholic boy's reflection about what it is to be a father and what it is to be a son, and how you turn into a father while you're being a son. And then you have to apologize to your kids.
This was a real bucket list project, so there was kind of a lot of responsibility on this one. We know he's been thinking about it for a long time, and we had to get it right. We're very faithful to Mary Shelley, so he's been doing it since he was 7 years old, and we didn't have quite as much time to think about it, but we had our team that we've been working with for a long time, and I think for everybody it was like climbing the top of the mountain on this one.
Because he's wanted to do it forever, and he's lived with it, and he understands the book, and he really honored the book and what Mary Shelley created, and I think he really wanted to see it from both sides, right? And I think what's unique about this story is we're also use of the monster, and the monster has a story to tell in this movie, and it's really about fathers and sons, and it's about how we treat each other, and at the end of the day, it's about empathy and love. And if we do it right, we can turn it right, and if we do it wrong, things can go bad.
I'm a cinematographer on this show with Guillermo Del Toro and Tamara here, production designer. And, we have a wonderful team in Toronto and in New York and London.
Everybody in the film, from the carpenters to the laborers to the set designers are amazing. And we did so much hand building on the show. And I think it shows. So many things are just handcrafted, and that's Guillermo. I mean, he envelops that. He loves that, and layers and layers of paint and design and building up and greens even. I mean, a huge shout out to my team, and the reason Guillermo likes to come back to the same people that he's used is because they deliver. And I think I deliver for him. I get him.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, I got to live in Toronto and Scotland during the shoot, and then we came back to LA and we cut every day for another 6 or 7 months and put the film together, and it was really one of the most fun experiences I've had.
He loves music and he loves my music in his films, so it's fabulous. He opens the doors wide open and invites me in, and I try to give the best of my work.
Oh, fantastic. Guillermo's like the best director for an artist can deal with, and us being able to apply the monsters to Jacob Elordi was just a dream come true. The man was a consummate professional, and he wore that makeup, sat in that chair for 10 hours and never complained once. It was magical.
Felt like it was meant to be.
I think the emotion, the purity of emotion, it's a very emotional movie, very full of new angles on the creature, new angles on all the characters that are revealing a lot of humanity of all of them.
Well, I mean, for a number of reasons. There's been so many Frankenstein films, but this one in particular really feels most faithful to the book. It gives the creature a chance to tell his story, and really what Guillermo wanted to do was make it, not a monster movie, not a horror movie, but really, a film that talks about forgiveness and, the father-son relationship that's really kind of important to him, important to everyone. So there were just a lot of, it's more emotional than most of them, and I think for everybody that was the important thing, to try and convey that, and we feel like we've done that.
I think just the scope of the movie. I think it's an incredible movie. I think it's beautiful on all levels. Our crew did an amazing job. And then technically what he did as a filmmaker with his DP. And then really what at the core of it is these actors, these extraordinary performances that break your heart and make you think. And that's, I think, what great cinema is.
Fantastic. This is my 5th movie with Guillermo, so you know him a little bit. So we're going all the way back. It's amazing. The fantastic crew here.
I think it's heart and it's emotion. I think most people who see it are not really prepared for the level of emotion that they're going to experience, particularly as they get to the end. We have people, as we did our screenings before we finished the movie, that left my office in tears, and hopefully that's the case, in the theater too.
Oh, the virtuosity of both the camera, the actors, the production design, everything is so, he's a maestro. Guillermo is a maestro. He conducts his orchestra with so much talent that every single element of the film is top-notch.
I agree.
Because it's made of Guillermo Del Toro and his team here. So that's very nice.